She's actually a very senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and she has served in many capacities over the years as a pujari, teacher, spiritual activist, writer, leads workshops, retreats internationally. She really is a nourisher and a mother of us all, and she is the founder of Urban Devi, which is based out of the Bhakti Center in New York City, where she's a member of the board of directors. She's also a member of Shaba, which is an international committee that advises, a committee of knowledgeable and learned men and women who advise our senior leadership, the GBC body. And she lives here, we're so happy when she's here in the Washington DC area. Her husband is Anuttara Prabhu, and she is the mother and grandmother of an illustrious devotee family with our Gauravani as her beloved son. Gauravani will be here also for the opening festival, just so you all know. All right, please give a warm welcome to our Rukmini lady. Okay, you make your way around here. Jai Ho.
Thank you so much, Ananda. It's such a great honor to be here. And what do you all think of the new temple? So thank you, Ananda. Thank you, Chaitanya Nitai. And watch the moon, right? The next full moon will be Lord Chaitanya's appearance day. So let me just say a few prayers first. Om Jnana-Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksin Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatavesharine Panchakapataru Vyascha Kripasindhu Parevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So please open your phones. I don't think you need, just go to, I think it's Google. You can find it at Google. A bhajan called Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga. I think that's all you need. Bhaja. Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga. Find it? Okay. So good. In the Chaitanya, is this on? Having a little technical difficulty here. Okay. In the Chaitanya Bhagava, Lord Chaitanya told Lord Nityananda, he said, listen, Nityananda, listen, Haridas. Go door to door and tell everyone to practice Krishna consciousness. Tell them Krishna consciousness is the supreme goal of life. Tell them, Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Kara Krishna Sikha. Chant the Hare Krishna mantra, serve Lord Krishna, and learn the teachings of Sri Krishna. So our beloved Srivani, who is right here, great opulence of this temple, she's going to lead us in a song, but which she's going to sing. So this is what Lord Chaitanya told Nityananda, but Lord Nityananda flipped it, and he would more famously sing, asking people to sing Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga. So please, she's going to lead us in a call and response. I hope you found it in your phone. Thank you, Shivani.
Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Laho Gaurange Naam Re. Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Laho Gaurange Naam ভজ গৌরাঙ্গ কহ গৌরাঙ্গ লহ গৌরাঙ্গের নাম রে যেই জনা গৌরাঙ্গ ভজে সে হয় আমার প্রাণ রে যেই জনা গৌরাঙ্গ ভজে সে হয় আমার প্রাণ রে ভজ গৌরাঙ্গ লহ গৌরাঙ্গের নাম রে গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া দুবাহু তুলিয়া গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া দুবাহু তুলিয়া নাচিয়া নাচিয়া বেড়াও রে গৌরাঙ্গ বলিয়া দুবাহু তুলিয়া নাচিয়া নাচিয়া বেড়াও রে ভজ গৌরাঙ্গ কহ গৌরাঙ্গ লহ গৌরাঙ্গের নাম রে গৌরাঙ্গ ভজিলে গৌরাঙ্গ জপিলে দুঃখের অবসান রে গৌরাঙ্গ ভজিলে গৌরাঙ্গ জপিলে হয় দুঃখের অবসান রে ভজ গৌরাঙ্গ কহ গৌরাঙ্গ লহ গৌরাঙ্গের নাম রে যেই জনা গৌরাঙ্গ ভজে সে হয় আমার প্রাণ রে যেই জনা গৌরাঙ্গ ভজে সে হয় আমার প্রাণ রে ভজ গৌরাঙ্গ কহ গৌরাঙ্গ লহ গৌরাঙ্গের নাম রে
গৌরাঙ্গ
So the title of this class is, Who is Lord Chaitanya and what can he do for me? What's so very special about him for us today? Think about it, yeah? There's so many avatars, Matsya avatar, Kurma avatar, Varaha avatar, and so many of them have many intriguing and charming pastimes. But how do they really impact my life in this world today? And how is Lord Chaitanya different from all of them? So in this talk, I'd like to unpack the who, what, where, when, how, and why of Lord Chaitanya's appearance or his descent to this world. So if you look at our three altars, look over here. On our right, we have Lord Ram, the avatar who appeared as the perfect righteous or dharmic king. And then in the center altar, we have Krishna and Sri Radha, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is called the Lord of Sweetness. He lives in the divine paradise of Vrindavan in the spiritual world. But without special mercy, is that spiritual world very accessible to ordinary people like us today? Think about that. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna asks us to surrender to him. Most people today don't really know how to do that. So if you look at the left, the left-hand altar, you'll see Lord Chaitanya on the right side and his dearest associate, Lord Nityananda, on the far left. So Lord Chaitanya, he doesn't demand that we surrender to him. He just says, here is Krishna's name, just take it freely. And where and when did he appear? He appeared in Navadvip, West Bengal, only about 500 years ago, so within recent memory, actually, in the darkness of Kali Yuga. And he's not asking us to surrender, but he's just purely giving us his mercy. And what does he do? He chases us. He actually chases us. He chases those of us who've run away to Western countries or hidden ourselves in academic scholarship or demanding occupations or burdened our hearts with all kinds of forbidden activities. And he's just begging us to freely take the liberating joy of chanting the holy name of Krishna. And so who is he? He's Krishna himself, and he's giving his own holy name, the Yuga Dharma, or the method of realization for this fallen age of Kali Yuga, which is to chant the holy name of God, to call out in love. It's called Prema Sankirtan, or chanting the holy name in love. It's a sweet, ecstatic chanting of Krishna's holy name. Bhaktivinoda Thakur called it the Church of Sankirtan, the church that's been taken out to the streets. So, of course, the names of God are praised in many traditions of the world, and they are considered to be, or called to be, as innumerable as the waves on the ocean. But Lord Chaitanya chanted this Hare Krishna mantra, which is called a Jugala mantra. It's a loving mantra made up of the names of Radha and Krishna. So we chant this mantra following in his footsteps. And so, yeah, he chases us down to give us his own holy name freely. Just take it, right? And in one poetry, Lord Gauranga, another name for Lord Chaitanya, is described as a boatman. And it said that at the Gauranga Ghat, everyone, the fallen people, the offenders, everyone is ferried across this ocean of birth and death, free of charge. So again, who is he? He's Krishna himself, but he's appearing in a covered form in the disguise of a devotee. Sometimes people would realize that he was divine, and he would cover his ears and go, Vishnu, Vishnu, no, I'm making an offense if you say that I'm divine. So he's posing as a devotee, showing us how to live in this world as a humble, loving devotee of the Lord, always chanting Krishna's holy name. So he's known for his audarya, his mercy. Krishna is known for his madhurya, his sweetness. Lord Chaitanya is known for his audarya, or his mercy. And again, where did he appear? In Navadvip, West Bengal. There's a big festival going on there now whereas Amrita, her parents, are there celebrating the opening of the Nrsingadev wing of the temple. But yeah, so he appeared there, and he's well known there, and he's well known in Vrindavan and Orissa and Jaipur, but maybe not so well known in other parts of India. But his appearance is predicted in Srimad Bhagavatam and the Mahabharata. So here's what Mahabharata says. Suvarna varna hemango varangas chandanangadi sannyasa krich chamat shanto nista shanta parayana. It says, the Lord in his incarnation of Gaur Shindar, another name for Lord Chaitanya, has a golden complexion. His entire body is like molten gold. Sandalwood pulp is smeared all over his body. He will take the renounced order of sannyas, and he will be very self-controlled. He will be distinguished from impersonal sannyasis in that he will be fixed in devotional service to Krishna and will spread the Sankirtan movement. That's from the Mahabharata. And what does Srimad Bhagavatam say? 11th canto Srimad Bhagavatam says, Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagnai Sankirtana Prayar Yajantihi Sumedasaha. So it says, in the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he's Krishna himself, and he's accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So, who is he again? He's Krishna, coming in with a golden complexion and a loving mood, covered with the loving mood of Sri Radha. Actually, he's considered by our tradition to be the combined form of Radha and Krishna. And the great Rupa Goswami calls Lord Chaitanya the most magnanimous avatar, who gives what no other avatar has ever given, right? So why does he say that? And what's that unprecedented magnanimous gift? What did he do again? What did he give? He came to freely give the most rare and precious love of Krishna, following the mood of Sri Radha and the gopis of Vrindavan, to you and me, to unqualified people everywhere. Don't you feel qualified for extraordinary mercy? It's rare and precious. It's kept hidden and it's kept secret, right? The name of Sri Radha is there in the original Vedas, but it's kept very secret. The Rig Veda says, Stotram Radhanam Pate Girva Ho Vira Yasyate. Krishna is glorified in this verse of the Rig Veda as Radhanath, the Lord of Radha. So what's the nature of Lord Chaitanya's mercy? He broke open the storehouse, the treasure house of love of Krishna, and he plundered it, and he gave it freely to everyone, everywhere. Yeah, just imagine if Tiffany's jewelers broke open their vaults and said, okay, take it free, take all the jewels. Or what if Elon Musk said, okay, free Teslas to everybody? Would everybody run there? So he broke open this most precious treasure house to give to everyone, everywhere. And he was merciful even to animals and to us humans, who can be like animals sometimes as well, right? So he inspired the wild animals in the Jharkhand forest to dance and chant with him. And believe it or not, if you don't believe this, you can still go there today. There's a new state of India called Jharkhand, which used to be part of Bihar, but now it's Jharkhand, right? And you can go there today, and the people know, you can see his footprints melted into the stone, along with footprints of tigers and deer and rabbits. Amazing, right? So what did he ask us to do? He asked that the name of Krishna be chanted in every village and town of the world. And on his order, great saints like Srila Prabhupada traversed the earth on the order of Lord Chaitanya, on the order of his guru, as Ananda was just saying, traveling to every continent, giving the holy name of Krishna to anyone and everywhere. And what did he do to show fearless compassion? Well, when he was about 24 years old, he was a young scholar. He was known as Nimai Pandit. And he took the chanting of Krishna's names out to the streets. And the mundane caste Brahmins complained to the Muslim magistrate, who was called a Qazi. And the Qazi sent his men out to the street to break the devotees' mridanga drums and told them to never publicly chant again in that area. Kirtan, what would you do if someone came up and broke your mridanga? Be mad, right? He was mad. So, Nimai Pandit, who in the future became known as Lord Chaitanya or Lord Gauranga, he said that this Harinam Sankirtan cannot be stopped. And he told the people of the town to all go home and make torches. He was so popular that on his word that night, 100,000 people gathered with flaming torches and marched in kirtan to the home of the Qazi to protest. So this is considered the origin or the very first nonviolent civil disobedience movement that was later popularized by Gandhi and later Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., right? So what did they do? When they got to the home of the terrified Qazi, he was hiding out in a closet inside, Nimai Pandit just sat down very graciously in the courtyard, and he invited the Qazi out for a discussion about the commonalities in their different religions. So maybe it was even the first interfaith dialogue as well. So the Qazi then gave an order. After their conversation, the Qazi gave an order that the Sankirtan movement should never be prohibited in that area by anyone, including any of his future descendants. He was called Chand Qazi, and even today you can go there and see a beautiful champak tree. So the champak tree represents Chand Qazi, and you can see that tree that's growing intertwined with a neem tree, which represents Nimai Pandit, who was born under a neem tree, Lord Chaitanya. Yeah. So the followers of Lord Chaitanya, the Goswamis of Vrindavan, wrote hundreds of books that were made up of hundreds of thousands of Sanskrit verses. And Lord Chaitanya himself, in his youth, he was famous as a great scholar. But yet he himself, we only have 8 verses of his writings that are recorded in the beautiful Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we have copies of that here for you to take home and delve into his pastimes and his teachings. So here's the first verse. Here's what he so poetically says about the holy name in his first verse. He says, "Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna," which can do what, right? What does it do? Why should we do that? Okay? Why should we chant it? The holy name of Lord Krishna can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is the waxing moon, right? Just like every night now we're seeing the waxing moon leading up to Lord Chaitanya's appearance day. So he says this chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. The Shreya Kairava, so my granddaughter is sitting right here. Her name is Kairava. The whole name would be Shreya Kairava. So that is the white lotus of the heart that blooms by the influence of this waxing moon of Lord Krishna's holy name. It's a nice name, don't you think? Yeah. Okay, so, yeah. The waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives a cooling effect to everyone and enables one to taste full nectar at every step. So this is his gift to us. This is the sweet path of chanting Krishna's name. So yeah, he came to give us this Harinam Sankirtan, the Yuga Dharma, process of self-realization for this age. But what was his inner purpose? That's quite inner itself, right? But even beyond that, or together with that, he has an inner purpose. In his Vrindavan pastimes, Krishna told the gopis that he could never repay them for their unparalleled selfless love. They'd given up all social convention, family obligations, and reputation to come to him in the dead of night in the forest of Vrindavan. So Lord Chaitanya, who's Krishna himself, he came in his incarnation to advertise the love of the gopis all over the world, and to tell everyone in the world that the love of Sri Radha and the gopis of Vrindavan is the highest pinnacle of love ever shown. So he came to repay that debt. Krishna said, I can never repay you, right? So then Lord Chaitanya comes and says, okay, here's what I'm going to do to try to repay you. So to repay that debt to Radha and the gopis of Vrindavan, Lord Chaitanya, who was Nimai Pandit at that time, he gave up his happy home in Mayapur, Navadvip, West Bengal, where he was adored by everyone. I mean, imagine 100,000 people come out at night on his word. He was so popular, right? So just as Sri Radha and the gopis had given up everything for Krishna, coming 500 years ago as Lord Chaitanya, Krishna gave up everything, took the renounced order of life and took sannyas and traveled everywhere, just glorifying this love of Sri Radha and the gopis of Vrindavan. So what did he teach exactly? Here's a Sanskrit verse that gives in a nutshell, his teachings. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Tanayas Taddama Vrindavana Ramya Kachchit Upasana Rajavadu Vargena Va Kalpita Shrimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Purmarthamahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Mathamidam Tatra Darai Naparaha. So he taught that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, and that he's to be worshipped along with his transcendental abode of Vrindavan, and that the most pleasing form of worship of the Lord is that which is performed by the gopis of Vrindavan. He taught that Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless authority on everything, and that pure love of God, Krishna Prema, is the ultimate goal of life for all people. So, yeah, in conclusion, what do you guys think about all this? Who is Lord Chaitanya and what can he do for you? You know? So I would say, my dear everyone, you're all very cultured and highly educated people. So please examine the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and try to see the treasure that he's come to so freely give us. He's given us this extraordinary path of Prema Sankirtan, chanting Krishna's name in love, in community with the entire world, giving up all hate and sectarian discrimination. He's made the grace of Lord Krishna more accessible for us today in the midst of this dangerous Kali Yuga. In order for you and me, ordinary people like us, to so easily cross over this painful ocean of repeated birth and death. So I would say, whatever burden you're carrying in your heart, put it at his feet. And in fact, he's our dearmost friend. So thank you all so much. So maybe what was important for you, maybe there's a takeaway, maybe there's some questions.
Turn the mic on. Turn it on. Just press the button.
The volume will be.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Very nice lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
It's a lot of pressure having a name Chaitanya. My name is
Your name
Chaitanya.
is Chaitanya.
So when I come to temple, sometimes I feel it, but
It's a blessing.
yes, indeed. Thank you to my parents.
What part of India are you from?
South actually.
From the south,
My
so-
dad is from north and mom is from south.
Wow, so someone in the south knew the name Chaitanya.
Yes, my grandfather and my dad's sister's husband actually.
Wonderful.
Yeah. It's not a question. I just wanted to give a compliment that I have seen change in chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and visiting the temple. It's helping me. So even I never used to attend the lecture after the darshanam.
You just went for prashadam.
But
That's a secret weapon.
but I slowly started attending mostly the one so that I am liking, and I go to the website and see who's going to speak and what. So yeah, very good lecture. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. What a beautiful name, Chaitanya.
Question from the ladies' side, so we go back and forth. Come on, ladies.
See how broad-minded Ananda is? Question from the men, question from the women. That's because she's following the mood of Lord Chaitanya. She has no sectarian discrimination based on gender or caste or creed.
Rukmini sees the smallest little thing, and this is her gift. She makes it into something else. Come. A reflection or a question?
Reflection, or what was important for you? Maybe you have a takeaway. What are you going to remember from this talk? I hope you remember something. Takeaway, a reflection, a question.
Hare Krishna.
My friend Lila.
Thank you so much for this beautiful talk. For me, the most important thing is that Krishna consciousness embraces everybody. It does not leave anyone out. So we all, whenever we go into the community of the Vaishnavas, we belong. And how much the world needs to belong to something. And we crave it. We crave communities, spiritual communities. And so many are deprived of it. But we know that with Krishna consciousness, no matter where, when, we always belong. And that's the treasure that was hidden, and now it's very apparent. Thank you.
So much for that beautiful reflection. Yeah. This is Lord Chaitanya's mood. If we're holding sectarianism, prejudice, discrimination in our heart, then we need to weed it out, because that's not Lord Chaitanya's mood. That's not Prabhupada's mood. You know, why did Prabhupada go to Africa 5 times? Why did he come here? You know, once somebody asked him, your godbrothers went to Germany and London, why did you come to New York? And he said, so humbly, he said, well, I thought if I was going to fail, I would want to fail in a different place. So he was prepared to fail, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, another reflection, yes.
Here's a takeaway. You had mentioned how Lord Chaitanya took it out to the streets. So we go out on the streets every week. But yesterday something extraordinary happened.
Wow.
So it was cold, it was damp, there weren't a lot of people out. And all of a sudden this young 14-year-old girl, approximately, I was guessing her age, comes across the street and just starts dancing spontaneously wild to the kirtan. And then she starts blowing kisses and saying, I love you guys, I love this, I love this. This is so beautiful. So then, if any of you guys know Mahotsava Prabhu, he's kind of relentless. So he got hold of the girl and he was trying to sell her Bhagavad Gita, and I could see she had no money, she's a kid. So I got up out of my chair, I went over and I told Damodar Priya, who was probably here, I said, whatever you do, don't let her get away without getting a Bhagavad Gita. Even if we have to give it to her, because she just loved it. So then I went over and talked to her. It turns out she told me she walked out of the mall, which is right across the street from us, and she heard the kirtan, and she said, I just started dancing. And I had to come over and see you. So we know, Prabhupada says, Lord Chaitanya says, it's spontaneous. People just dance automatically. So she ended up getting the Bhagavad Gita. She got a Maha garland, which we get from the temple. She loved it. She got prasadam. She got an on-chanting. And then I said, you like the chanting? I have these CDs with Srila Prabhupada doing kirtan. So we gave her a CD. And she said, I promise I'm going to read this book.
Wow.
So that's the mercy that's available if we just go out on the streets.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How beautiful.
Thank you so much, Rukmini Prabhu, for this beautiful class. My takeaway is how accessible Krishna is through Lord Gauranga, for the common man. For me, it gives hope. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful lecture. One question I had was about how the name Chaitanya came about.
His name is also Chaitanya.
Oh, your name is also Chaitanya. Wow. So were your parents aware of Lord Chaitanya?
No.
No, but somehow by blessing you got the name Chaitanya.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, in the sannyas order, Chaitanya is considered a brahmachari name. Usually when someone takes sannyas, they get a very high name like a Bharati or something like that. But Chaitanya is considered like a student name, and he kept that name after his sannyas because he wanted everyone to know that he considered himself a servant of Krishna, servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. So it's traditionally a brahmachari name, but it means the living force. So Chaitanya Charitamrita means the nectar of the living force of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So please read Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can find out more about your name. Haribo. There was a hand here.
Microphone, Lila.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for the beautiful class. My takeaway from the class today is, and it's a big hope for me, is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as you mentioned, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's chasing us all. He's finding, anyone, and I'm one of them, and I have a hope that he's behind me. He's looking after me. Because on my own I have no qualification.
Yes.
With His mercy, anything can be possible.
Thank you for that beautiful reflection. Actually, we can put that in plural. On our own, none of us have any qualification, right? How will we get to the spiritual world? He's made our qualification. So, as I said at the end, please put in your Anjali. You know this word Anjali? You put your hands together. So put all the burdens that you're carrying in your Anjali, in your heart. Put all the burdens that you're carrying in your heart, in your Anjali, and offer them to Lord Chaitanya and ask him to accept you and chant on his order. So thank you. Thank you all so much. Another question?
Oh, okay, good. One more question.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your lecture. And regarding this topic, burden, we all know this burdens leads to all the sins or the bad things. So my question or the search is like this transfer of burden to Lord Chaitanya Prabhu's feet is getting very difficult. The transfer is not easy. It's obstructed in so many steps. How do we do that one?
Thank you for the very sincere question. Try and try again, right? Just like if you're gonna, Kairava plays the violin, if you're gonna play piano, Kirtan plays piano. If you're gonna learn piano or violin, what do they say? There's a kind of a joke. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, 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 right? So show up, just show up and try. And you know what? What we're trying to do is actually impossible. So cry to Krishna, cry to Lord Chaitanya and beg him to accept you. Actually, in fact, in his pastimes, he accepted murderers and thieves and prostitutes and criminals and terrorists. So I think he will accept us as well. If we cry to him, he's looking for some sincerity of the heart for us to not just do it mechanically. So cry and cry again and beg him and show up. Practice, practice, practice. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. One more question, then we'll call it a day.
I was just thinking how difficult it can be to walk in the world and be true to what we know when we come here. So it's very inspiring to think about how much Chaitanya was up against, and think that it's not that hard out there. You know, there's a lot of discouragement, you know, when you want to talk about what we're experiencing here, what we're learning here, and you know, you get a lot of crazy looks, you know. So thank you for reminding me that it's much easier, especially when we have other people that we can rely on to inspire us.
Thank you. It's called Sankirtan. That means it's meant to be done in community. So it is a lot harder when we go off by ourselves and try to do it in isolation. So try to gather in community as much as possible, and you know, uplift this community of the Prema Sankirtan. You know, and if you get those dirty looks, just say a prayer for that person, and try to give them Krishna's holy name in whatever way they can take it. Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you, Rukmini Devi. If you have any other questions, Rukmini will be here for a few minutes, so you can scoot forward. Wonderful. So as she says, stay connected, stay in Sangha, practice, practice, practice every day. That's what makes all the difference. Have a wonderful week. Love you all. See you all next week. Hari Bol.